Welcome to the Lantern Hour. Tonight I'll take you north aboard the night sleeper to the Scottish Highlands, a long, slow train that leaves the city in the rain and carries you gently all night towards the hills. First, we'll take a few quiet minutes to settle in with the lantern countdown. Then the journey begins. And when the story ends, the sound of the rails and the soft rain on the glass will stay with you until morning. If there's somewhere the lantern should travel next, leave it in a comment before you settle in. I do read them quietly, like postcards. But for now, there is nothing more for you to do tonight, and nowhere at all you need to be. Make yourself comfortable and let your eyes close whenever they are ready. We'll count down together now from 10 to 1, and with every number you can let yourself sink a little further into your bed, the way a lamp is turned down a little lower and a little lower until only the warm glow is left. 10. Feel the whole weight of your body being held. The mattress has you completely, and it is not letting go. 9. Let your shoulders soften and spread as if they were made of warm sand. 8. Take one slow breath in and let it go all the way out, unhurried. 7. Let the day you have had grow smaller behind you, like a town seen from the back of a train. 6. Let your jaw unclench and your face grow smooth and quiet in the dark. 5. Your hands can rest now. They have done enough. Let them lie open and easy. 4. The sounds of your own room are fading, the way sounds fade when a journey begins. 3. Your breath is slower now, deeper now, keeping its own soft time. 2. Somewhere ahead of you, in the dark, a long train is waiting, warm and lit and patient. And 1. And here you are. You are standing beneath the high glass roof of a great railway station, late in the evening, and the day's crowds have long since gone home. The station is nearly empty and wonderfully calm. The last local trains have left. The departure boards have gone quiet. A single member of staff wheels a trolley somewhere far off across the concourse, slow and easy, in no hurry at all. High above you, on the great arched roof of glass and iron, you can hear the night rain beginning, soft and fine and steady, a gentle hush spread out over the whole station like a blanket being drawn up. And along the farthest platform, stretched out and gleaming under the lamps, the night sleeper is waiting for you. It is a long train and a quiet one, coach after coach of deep midnight blue, their painted sides beaded with rain from the yard, their little rows of windows glowing a soft, warm gold behind drawn blinds. At the far end, the engine hums to itself, low and patient, like something very large breathing slowly in its sleep. You walk down the platform through the quiet, past coach after warm-lit coach, and at the door of yours, an attendant in a neat dark uniform is waiting with a list in her hand and an umbrella furled under her arm. She finds your name with the tip of one finger and smiles as if she has been looking forward to this bit of the list all evening. Good evening. You're in berth number 6. The bed's already made up, and I'll be just along the corridor if you need anything in the night. Sleep as long as you like. You'll be in the Highlands by morning. And she holds the door as you climb aboard, up the 2 steps, out of the wide, cool night and into the warm. The corridor of the sleeping car is narrow and softly lit, panelled in old polished wood the colour of chestnuts, and it smells faintly of clean linen and warm dust and railway. That kind old travelling smell that never really changes. You slide open the door of berth number 6 and step into a room the size of a large wardrobe, where everything you could need has been thought of, and nothing you don't need has been let in. There is a narrow bed, made up tight and neat with white sheets and a thick blanket of grey Highland wool, folded down at one corner, ready. There is a small reading lamp on the wall above the pillow, already lit, throwing a little pool of amber light. There is a hook for your coat, a ledge for your things, a tiny corner basin with a folded towel, and beneath the window a blind pulled halfway down over the dark glass, where the fine rain is gathering in beads and seams. You hang up your coat and set your things on the ledge and sit down on the edge of the bed, and the mattress takes you kindly. Outside on the platform, doors close far down the train, one and then another, soft and final, like a house being locked up warm for the night. The rain goes on, whispering against the glass, but it is out there, on the other side of the window, in the wide, cold night. And you are here, inside, in the lamplight, with nowhere to be. There is no whistle and no announcement. The sleeper does not make a fuss about leaving. There is only the smallest, smoothest lean, as if the whole train had let out a breath, and the platform lamps begin, very slowly, to slide past your window. The station roof draws back like a curtain, and the open night takes its place, and the rain comes softly to your window, fine and slanting, feathering the glass with silver. Beneath you, the wheels find their voice. Slowly at first, a click and a pause and a click, and then settling as the train gathers its easy speed into the old rhythm, the one the body knows without being taught. Da-dum, 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 da-dum. Soft and low and endless, the sound of being carried. The lights of the city thin out and fall away. A last high tower, a last wet orange street, a last lit window, and then the darkness of the countryside comes up around the train like deep water, and the only lights left in the world are the warm ones, here, aboard. You have done the only thing the evening asked of you. You found your train and you got on. Everything else, all the long miles of it, is the railway's work, not yours. The driver is awake at the front, watching the wet silver rails in the headlamp beam. The attendant is awake in her little seat at the end of the corridor with her tea and her list. All down the long line ahead of you, in small lit signal boxes on dark hillsides, patient men and women are awake beside their levers and their dials, passing your little train northwards from hand to hand through the night, like a lantern passed along a chain of friends. The whole railway is awake tonight, so that you don't have to be. The rain stays outside on the glass. The night stays outside with the rain, and you are here, inside, carried, warm, with nowhere to be. You are in no hurry to sleep, not yet. The evening has one small kindness left. So you step out into the corridor and walk back down the gently swaying train, one hand trailing along the smooth wooden rail, through one hushed coach and then another, past door after closed door, with their soft lights sleeping behind them. And at the very end of the train, there is a small lounge, just a handful of deep armchairs in worn green velvet, a few little tables with shaded lamps, and one long window at the back where the twin rails spool away behind the train into the dark, shining faintly, stitching the night closed again behind you as you go. A steward stands behind a tiny counter, polishing a teaspoon with no particular urgency. He is an older man with white hair and the settled look of someone who has ridden this line for 40 years and never once wished to be anywhere else. He makes you a pot of tea without being asked, sets it down at your elbow with 2 shortbread biscuits on a saucer, and says in a low Highland voice made entirely of gravel and kindness, "Wet night out there. Good night to be on a train." And he is right. It is exactly that, a good night to be on a train. You sit back in the deep chair with the warm cup in your hands, and the carriage rocks you, slow and small, da-dum, da-dum, and the rain draws its long fine lines across the black window, and the tea is hot and malty and sweet. There are only 2 other passengers in the lounge, an elderly couple at the far end, and they are both fast asleep in their chairs, her head on his shoulder, his book long since closed upon his finger. Even the awake parts of this train are half dreaming. Out there, the last farms have gone dark, and the rain falls on empty fields and stone walls and sleeping villages, and you are here, inside, in a warm chair, with tea, with nowhere to be. On the little shelf beside your chair, between a folded newspaper and a pack of cards, there is a small cloth-bound book, its blue cover gone soft and pale with handling, an old traveller's guide to this very line, printed longer ago than anyone aboard has been alive. You take it down, and it opens where other hands have opened it most, at a page about the small halts high on the moor. And there, in the margin, in careful pencil gone silver with age, some long ago traveller has written, "Ask the guard about the dog." And as it happens, the steward, drying his teaspoons, sees the page over your shoulder and chuckles and tells you, Many years ago, he says, at one of those little stations on the moor, 2 lamps, 1 bench and a signal box, the signalman kept a sheepdog called Angus, black and white, with 1 ear that never stood up properly. And every Friday evening, Angus would trot down to the platform by himself, sit precisely where the last carriage door always stopped, and wait. The guards all knew him. They'd open the door, and Angus would step aboard like a gentleman, ride the 2 stops down to the village, where the butcher, closing up, saved him a bone as regular as the timetable, and then he'd catch the last train home again, sitting in the guard's van, upright and dignified, watching the dark go by. You pause for a moment, listening, the rails turning over softly beneath you, the rain feathering the glass, the wide night outside, and you hear, inside, warm, going gently north. The steward polishes his spoon and goes on. Well, one winter a new ticket inspector came onto the line, a young man very keen on the rule book, and he looked at Angus and declared that dogs, like everyone else, required a ticket. And the regulars in the last carriage, who had ridden with Angus for years, heard this and said nothing, and simply passed a cap down the aisle. And by the next Friday, hanging on a nail in the signal box, there was a small framed card, paid for by a whip round and signed by the station master himself. Angus, season ticket, all stations, guard's van, until further notice. And the steward says the card hung in that signal box for 30 years, long after Angus had gone to sleep for good by his signalman's fire, and that some nights on this line the older guards still leave a biscuit on the ledge of the van. Just in case. You smile and you pause for a moment, listening. The rails turning over softly beneath you, da-dum, da-dum, the rain feathering the long black window. You close the little blue book and set it back on its shelf for the next traveller and finish the last warm mouthful of your tea. It is time for bed. You say goodnight to the steward, who nods as if you have made a very sound decision, and you walk back up the long, gently swaying corridor towards your berth. The train is quieter now, deep in its running. Behind one door you pass, a lamp clicks softly out. Somewhere far ahead, at the other end of the coach, the attendant's footsteps move away down the carpet, slow and light and regular, on her last round of the evening. The sound of someone gently making sure of things, so that no one else has to. Once, the train slows and slides through a small sleeping station without stopping. A few seconds of lamplight sweeping bar by bar along the corridor wall, an empty platform shining with rain, a bicycle leaning under the awning, and then the moor again, and the dark, and the rhythm settling back into its long stride. There is no one on the platform behind you now, and no one waiting. The little station keeps its lamp lit anyway, all night, the way a house leaves a light on for the stairs. The timetable sleeps in its glass case under the awning, shining with rain, and nobody reads it tonight, and it does not mind. The line runs on north, mile after easy mile, and the train knows the way. The window at the corridor's end shows you the night for a moment as you pass. No towns now, no roads, only the great dark shoulders of the hills gathering around the line, and low cloud resting on them like wool. And once, far below, a long loch lying still and black, holding what little light the night has left along its length, like a bolt of dark silk smoothed flat and put away for the night. The rain is finer up here, softer, hardly more than mist against the glass. It stays out there, on the hills, on the heather, on the black water, and you are here, inside, in the warm corridor light, 3 steps from your own bed, with nowhere to be. Back in berth number 6, you slide the door to behind you with a soft, well-made click, and the little room holds you close. You change slowly, hang your things on the hook, and turn the small reading lamp down to its lowest. A coin of warm gold on the wall, no brighter than a coal. Then you draw back the tight white sheets, and you climb into the narrow bed, and you pull the grey wool blanket up to your shoulder, and the bed takes you, and the train rocks you, and that is that. The pillow is cool and smells of clean linen. The blanket is heavier than it looked in the good way, a kind settling weight, like a hand laid steady between your shoulders. And beneath you, through the mattress, through the frame of the train itself, the rhythm goes on and on, da-dum, da-dum, slow and even, rocking you not side to side but somehow downwards, deeper into the warm bed with every mile. Your feet grow heavy and rest. Your legs grow heavy and rest. Your hands lie easy on the blanket, and your shoulders let the mattress have them, all of their weight at last. Outside, the night goes on doing its own quiet work. The rain drifts along the glass in fine silver seams. The hills stand around the train in the dark, very old and very patient, minding their own business as they have for 10,000 years. And now and then, far off at the front, the engine calls once into the darkness, low and soft, not a warning, just a word, and the hills hand the sound gently back. Once the attendant passes your door, her steps soft on the corridor carpet, pausing a moment, making sure of things, and moving on. Everything is being minded. Everything is being seen to. The driver watches the silver rails. The signal lamps far ahead burn green through the rain, one after another, all the way north, every single one of them saying the same small word to your train as it comes. Go gently. All is well. Go gently. And the rain stays outside, and the night stays outside, and you are here, inside, under wool, carried, with nowhere to be. The lamp is low. The bed is warm. The train runs on, north, through the rain. Da-dum. Da-dum. The oldest lullaby there is. You don't follow the sounds anymore. They come to you instead. The rails turning over soft and slow. The rain feathering the glass. Steps in the corridor once, far away. Then gone. The blanket has warmed through to exactly the warmth of you. Hard to say now where you end. Where the warm bed begins. Miles go by that you will never see. Locks in the dark. Heather in the rain. Small stations fast asleep. None of them need you. Nothing needs you now. The train is awake, so you can sleep. Let go of the day the way a station lets go of a train. Slowly, smoothly, no fuss at all. You are carried. You are held. You can sleep now. Good night. The train knows its way through the darkness, and you can rest. You are carried forward without needing to do anything at all. Every mile is someone else's work tonight, and every one of them is glad to do it. The rain on the glass cannot reach you and never will. The hills outside are old and calm, and they are letting you through. The signal lamps are green all the way north. Your bed is made, your door is closed, and the night is well-minded. Morning will arrive on its own. It does not need your help. There is nothing to steer, and nothing to watch, and nothing to hold. The train is awake, so you can sleep. The train knows its way through the darkness, and you can rest.